Improv online, Christian Winter, Copenhagen, and the weather is gray. Forecast, everything is closing down until Christmas. And today I'm with Velvet.
Hello from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. The weather is weather. It is appropriate for this time of year. It is, me personally, I've self isolated, so I'm sure it's fine out there. I will shovel in a couple of months.
Oh, snow. I wish
No,
we
not
had
yet.
snow.
We don't have staying snow yet,
Oh,
but
no, it's just in Denmark, it's 5 years since we had the last really
yeah,
snowy. So,
yeah. It's I remember this is one of those I remember as a kid. I remember as a kid it would snow and be light and fluffy and you could play in it and it would clear off if you needed to but now I don't remember a full winter of snow.
oh,
Most of the time it's we would have a heavy drop. It would
yeah,
stay for a couple of days and it would just be cold. It wouldn't be snowy anymore and I really missed that.
yeah, yeah, me too. But then again, when you drive a car in snow, it's
It's an
anyways.
adventure. Come
It
on,
is.
Christian. It's an adventure.
It is. Well, now we have front wheel pull,
yeah.
so that's better than hind wheels. That's so to get us started.
Yeah.
Suggestion: do we want a location, a relationship, or a word?
Let's go with a relationship.
Babysitter, new parent.
Oh,
Oh,
okay. I love Jonathan, but I just need one night out. So, thank you for coming over, for agreeing to take care of my little bundle of joy.
oh, I'm happy to. I'm happy to. It's yeah. Jonathan is a bundle of joy.
Yeah,
I'm just you started with I love Jonathan, but
but I need a night out. I need to be around other adults for like 2 hours, 3 hours. When you have a baby, your focus is your baby and the baby deserves the focus. But I need a little bit of like adult brain time.
yeah, that's that sounds that sounds like that sounds like a song.
I need some me time. I need some tea time. I need some worry about the rhyme. Just getting out of the house. I need some help from the people I love. I need to get out and not think of my baby. I need some me time.
And I am here to babysit little Jonathan, here to babysit little Jonathan, here to babysit little Jonathan, and he's really easy. It will be joyful. And I feel like a therapist as a babysitter because all these small talks with the parents.
Mm.
How's everything going? I mean, is the breastfeeding going well? And
Jonathan has latched on. Sometimes is a little bit greedy. Sometimes
yeah,
there's some soreness, but even with all of the pain, I wouldn't trade any single moment of this.
no,
But I'm lonely. I am lonely, and it's hard. Your friends, they say that they will be there for you, but really they're there for to see the baby and ask about the baby, and they ask about you in relation to the baby, and I that's why I just need this night out
You don't
to
feel
have
seen.
I
It's,
I yeah.
I'm really, I mean, Caroline, I'm really happy you asked me. I mean, we've known each other in other contexts, and
Mm,
I'm really happy that now I can be at service for you. It's, oh, I just, yeah, I followed the pregnancy, and yeah, there's also always a
yeah.
you can read in the mind of people. It's just when I'm not asked, it's a bit difficult because I heard about the uncertainties and the
Mm,
scannings, and there's always,
yeah. Mark,
but when I'm not asked, I'm not really, I don't feel I can join in on my knowledge.
that's why I really appreciated that. Like you started following my Instagram to see like the whole story, and like right from day one, you were right there. You were very encouraging with all the hearts and comments, and
Mm,
so it just made sense to me when I started to post my stories, and you would respond. I would read your responses, and I knew that it's so difficult to meet people online and to be friends with people online, but the way
yeah,
that you respond is just so authentic. So I knew that if I needed this,
yeah.
this would be a great way for you to meet Jonathan, and for and our friendship. I don't want it to just be about babysitter, but
Oh,
this
no.
for me is giving this level of trust, like giving my baby to you for a couple of hours
Yeah,
will help
that's
me also get to know you.
that's yeah, I really appreciate you trust me like this, and it's,
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, it's like I feel I know you, even though
right.
we mostly have met on Instagram
Just
and
online, yeah.
shared opinions and ideas, and yeah, it's awkward because I feel I know you.
Well, it's also awkward because we met online, but we have been neighbors. You just live two doors down. Like when I found out that we pass each other's place all the time, but never wave, we never say hello, we didn't know that
No,
we were
yeah,
that connected.
yeah. I still remember when you changed, when you finally brought your real picture of you
Mm, yes.
and Jonathan. I just realized, oh, this is a neighbor, because else I'd just been seeing these funny pictures and the cartoon drawings you used to put up there. And
Right. Well, I was a cartoonist. Now I'm a parent. I will get back to it someday. But yeah, I had used my account initially to promote myself, but
yeah,
my life changed.
it does. That's the strange thing. And still, I'm wondering, when you're sitting there breastfeeding, you don't feel the urge to scribble with one hand.
Well, sometimes, but new baby. I want to make sure that Jonathan has everything they need. So any little turn, any noise and mewling that babies do, like I'm instantly alert to that. And
Oh,
I haven't been taking care of what I need. I
well,
mean,
it just sounds like a real heavy burden
I
to
mean,
put.
it's the role, and yes, there's a lot to it. Uh,
Yeah, and
but 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 I was brave. I was brave enough to acknowledge that I needed this time
yeah,
tonight.
and you deserve a time out.
Yeah,
I'm just wondering, you might consider that you're asking too much of yourself in the moment when you're sitting with Jonathan. I mean, it's
It will
okay
change.
to watch
Yeah.
a bit of Netflix or draw a bit of cartoons.
Uh, I did that while Jonathan was inside me, and that sound, the Netflix sound off the top, da-ding, like every time that came on, Jonathan would like move a little bit. So I feel like I may have programmed him a little bit too much to be ready for streaming services.
Oh, he's a
But you're right.
streamaholic already from.
Already, he can tell when I'm moving over to Amazon Prime or to Disney or just very alert for that. But I agree. I am going to get better. Tonight, I'm not going out to be super social. I'm not going to party. I'm going to be meeting up with other new mothers. This is like it's an organization that puts on the first night out
That's
for new
brilliant.
mothers.
That's so
Yeah.
brilliant.
Yeah.
So, well, Caroline, I want. Yeah, I shouldn't keep you.
I'm glad that we had this time because
Yeah,
as I wanted to I wanted to meet you before giving you your job
yeah.
of taking care. I mean, he's asleep. He's asleep now,
Oh, yeah,
but that will change as soon as I hit
yeah.
that door.
Oh, yeah. But I can see the bottles are there and the heaters and the diapers and
Yeah,
everything is really in place in order.
I do have my systems. I have my
Oh,
lists. I have my lists for my lists.
yeah.
You should be fine. I
Ah,
think I will be fine.
yeah. And I've got your phone number, and if you're worried, just call.
Absolutely. All right. Well, I need to say goodbye to Jonathan. Just
Yeah, yeah,
okay. I'm ready.
yeah. See you, and enjoy.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm getting ready to take care of little Jonathan. I'm getting ready to watch a little Netflix. I'm getting ready to watch over Jonathan and sing. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My kids are now grown, so it's been a long time since I've had to think of the newborn stage, but I still remember.
Oh, yeah, interesting. You remember with fear or joy?
Now I'm a lot less tense about it. But with the first one, it's new. Like, as
Yeah.
much as you may read ahead of time, having a real live human at that size, that like everything is so important. And anything that you feel like anything that could go wrong, you're going to be the bad parent that makes that happen. And of course, you do have to be mindful, but most of the time, as you said in the scene, you also have to give yourself that break and that permission to just like take a moment.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's interesting how different people. Yeah, but yeah, especially the first, and there's
Mm,
probably a lot of worry and stuff like that. I don't
yeah.
have kids, so I don't know
Mm,
anything about
yeah. Well, by the third, I imagine what they say. Like by the third, you're like, oh, take care of yourself. Like you got this, and then all the ones after that, I don't know how they make it. I didn't go down that road, but yeah, I think you just want to. Everyone wants to do right. They want to do
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
and we do anyway. But especially with a helpless child, like you just
Mm.
want them to thrive. And the communication, like nobody teaches you how to speak baby.
Oh,
So,
no, no,
so
no.
how do you help this thing that really all it can do is cry to get the attention it needs, and each
Yeah.
cry, I mean, anyway. Anyway, you
Yeah,
don't have
yeah.
kids. You don't have kids. You don't need to have this conversation.
Oh, no, but I have friends that have kids, and one of them explained, "Oh, I think she's crying a manipulative cry."
Right.
She was probably half a year old at that time, but I
Mm,
think now she's not really crying. She knows that this works for getting
right.
this stuff.
Hey, and as adults, we also have ways that we seek our attention. So it's not really like that foreign for the baby to be like, oh, let's try this muscle. I want more warmth. I want more proximity. I want more comfort. I want more
Yeah,
eyes on me.
yeah, more attention. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Interesting psychology stuff.
Hmm.
Well, both for how the kids started to be, yeah, connecting dots in what works in different ways, but also
Yeah.
how parents or the people around the parents react in the situations is also.
Yeah, they say that the cry
Mm.
is attuned to the parent, and so and they've shown how the like the serotonin or whatever
Oh,
levels, the
yeah.
stress levels in the parent are much higher when that noise is made than
When
it,
it,
and other people hear it, but
mm.
the parents specifically, like they get a lot more stressed.
So a parent would react different to their own child crying than other people's
Right.
children
And
crying.
I mean, there is a little bit of sympathetic reaction that happens with any child. Like it does.
Yeah.
And I found that for myself. It was, I'd hear a cry and be like, all right, I don't need to solve for this. I mean, I want to, I need, oh, but at the same time, it's like, that's somebody else's child. That's,
Oh,
I've been there. This is on, so there is a little bit of separation that happens.
oh, yeah. Interesting. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So what's the improv world? So what's a good online improv? Normally I ask what people like about improv,
Hmm.
and I know you've done with several other people I've improvised with as well. And so
Yeah.
what do you like about online improv?
I like two things. One, I don't have to leave my house. So I like that. I like that I can stay safe during a pandemic. I also what I have found the most is I am finding more and more people who are of the same spirit when it comes to improv. That same, they're willing to experiment, but they're also willing to play from a place of joy
Mm,
rather than worrying about what the audience thinks or what you're supposed to, like, all rules make sense and they can help us, color in the same coloring book.
structure.
But
Yeah.
at the same time, it's also okay to color on the walls in improv
Yeah.
and just to see what that means. So
Mm,
that is what I have enjoyed the most in all this, and getting to meet people. Like, honestly, I've been to Denmark very, very briefly. I didn't have time to find out what the improv scene was like. So it's not like we would have met under normal and
no.
under non-virtual circumstances.
Yeah.
So this that has really opened up for me, and I've been very appreciative of having access now to people around the world going, "Hey, you want to play?" Yes. The answer is always yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't agree more with you. And also, yeah, even though I'm out of my own house, I'm in a different place. I can still put the computer up, find a room, and then
Yeah.
do stuff with people around the world. That's
Yeah, I do find that I'm not a very kinesthetic performer. I don't need to do backflips in order to get the scene going somewhere bizarre or
yeah.
somewhere more grounded. So I don't mind having this as my stage.
Uh,
Now,
well,
it actually allows me to slow down more and get into the scene in a different way than
yeah.
if I were standing and moving around. Like I found that I would do a lot of object busy work
Yeah,
because you need to establish your environment. And yes, that's great, fine.
yeah.
But there are only so many bowls of cake that you can
Oh,
batter
yeah,
that you
yeah.
can stir,
No,
or whatever, before you go, okay, that's not the point of the scene.
yeah,
It's
and
Yeah.
I find that basically, actually, here you can better see the facial expression of people. Also,
Yes.
when you play with people.
Yes,
Uh,
and a lot of people don't like this part, but you can see your own facial reactions. So when
yeah, yeah,
Right, so because there are times when everybody is giving nonverbal cues. You're
yeah.
giving offers that are nonverbal, but if we're not internalizing what it looks like, I may think that I'm fully smiling, but I'm not fully smile. Oh, there it is, right? So I can now understand the reaction the other person has when I'm going, no, I'm having a great time, and they're not reacting like
Yeah,
I'm having.
yeah,
So
yeah,
it's like, oh, I get it. So now I can manipulate myself a little bit more to convey whatever it is that fits. So
yeah.
I'm enjoying that part of it.
Mm.
Also, I'm very expressive, so sometimes I'll catch my facial reaction and it makes me laugh. It's like, okay, right, we're having fun.
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
allowed
I've
we're
I've
allowed to have
taken
fun with this.
I've taken myself as just watching. Okay, now I look very stoned. I better smile.
Right.
But yeah,
I do the other thing I like about like this setup, this duo setup, or when it's in groups,
mm,
is that I mean connecting virtually is lonely because you're the only one in the space really.
yeah,
But
yeah,
here, at least I'm not alone. I can see my partner. I can see the other people in
yeah,
the set. So I never feel like, oh, it's just me. So whether an audience is listening, whether it's recorded, whether it's like all of that is nice. I do miss live stage interaction with the audience, but at least we have this.
yeah, yeah, and yeah, yeah, totally agree. And yeah, and we have this as a channel to, yeah, back to the second point, that to meet people
Yeah.
from all around the world, or different places, people who we wouldn't meet anyway.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it also has given the opportunity or the freedom just to approach people online that you don't know, but you see are part of the same community. You
Yeah.
might have met in a debate thread or
Mm-hmm.
in a jam, or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoy that. I love the live stage, but
Mm.
the effort to get a performance onto the stage and the timing and all of that felt like a lot more. And now it's a lot easier. It's literally
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
how's Friday? How's like let's just figure
Yeah.
this. Let's figure out a time that's mutually beneficial. We don't have to
Mm.
worry about getting it on an official site. We can
No,
do it,
no.
through our profile or wherever we want.
Yeah.
That freedom, I think, has really helped a lot of people gain some confidence in themselves to be able to do this if they
Yeah.
want to.
Yeah. And also the interesting part is whether you, I think of improv friend of mine wrote a blog about it, whether you feel you need the audience to do the scene, or
Hmm.
like here we just do this. What people watch afterwards doesn't really matter for me being in the scene.
Right. There are definitely times from the before times where
Yeah.
I would allow you follow the fun, right? So if
Yeah.
you're following the audience fun, it may not be my fun,
Mm.
but I find some fun in it
Yeah.
because the
Yeah.
audience does.
Yeah.
So not having that input, not having that offer, I don't miss making continuing with the offers we make. It's
Yeah.
what we have is enough.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But there, when I do my solo stuff, that's when I really notice it. It's like, oh, I have a passion for what I'm doing, but
Yeah.
I sure could use some more input right now.
Yeah. 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 And when it comes down to the scene we just did, which was very grounded,
Yeah.
we had some negotiation about how we met and
Yeah,
justifying why we,
yeah,
interesting just
yeah.
and stuff.
Okay, so yes, that was to me. It was like, oh, so we don't really know each other, but we do. I find just like this, we hadn't really met before you reached out to say, hey, do you want to do something?
Yeah,
I had seen your name. I had seen your name in some of the threads in the community threads, but we hadn't interacted. So we're
yeah,
strangers, but we're not strangers. And I think there is definitely an opinion that when you meet somebody on the internet, it's not real. And yes, there are people who pretend or they show their better side or they like
oh,
that
yeah,
happens. But that also happens in the real world.
oh, yeah,
I
yeah,
I had I had the corporate version of me and I have the non-corporate version of me.
oh, yeah,
So
yeah.
so for me it's like, yeah, we there was so much agreement in
Mm,
our scene that to me to have something that we haven't quite figured out yet is like, oh, now we're playing with what are the pieces of that little part of the
yeah,
puzzle.
yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, the fabulous thing is that even though we don't haven't met before, we can still do this improv scene together.
Yes.
And yeah, the agreement and the scene makes it work and
Yeah.
gives a good enjoyable time figuring out what are the pieces of the piece.
Yeah, I really do enjoy building it together as
Mm,
opposed to one person going, okay, you give me your one piece and now I'm going to go, okay,
yeah.
maybe you could say something. Fine. I mean, I've been hey, I have probably been on both sides of that equation, but I much prefer to go, okay, here's a little bit of information. What do
Yeah.
you have? Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, okay.
Oh
It's now
yeah.
that I had no idea that this would be that I would be the mother.
Mm. Oh no. Yeah.
It
Yeah.
didn't throw me. We just hadn't established it. So it's like, oh, okay. Well, I still understand how to be a parent.
Yeah. But it's also in the scene technical why I. Yeah. It was due. I asked about the breastfeeding
Yes.
because, and then you took it that you were,
Right. Absolutely. Because
and that's quick on
yeah,
quick.
yeah, yeah. No, I understood. It was like, oh, right. I'm going to choose to internalize this and take on the character rather than gossip about my partner is like, yeah, we could do that. Why
Mm.
can't it? I have more emotional options if I make it me. But
Yeah.
then I had to be like, okay, so what have I said so far that might, or what am I going to say, or what? Okay, cool, cool, cool. Let's get into that headspace.
Mm.
And also, I didn't want to be a stereotype.
Oh no,
You know what
because
I mean?
actually,
You weren't asking for that in any way, but I also wanted to be mindful of not being a stereotype.
mm, yeah, because then I named you Caroline after that,
That's right. Yeah,
and you actually never named me.
I did.
You did?
I did, but I may have been quiet when I said it. But
Oh,
I did. Yeah, I called you
oh, what
Mark.
was I called?
I called you Mark.
Mark.
Yes.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm still in doubt whether I was a woman or a man
Oh,
babysitter.
interesting. Yeah. No, and as soon as you asked that, it said I named you Caroline, and it's like, oh, I didn't even think of cross gender identification for you. In my mind, it was we're humans,
Oh,
and
yeah,
let's see.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I don't think actually it made any difference to the scene or the context
Hmm.
of our discussion or our talk. So
Yeah.
it's basically the same issues in the situation.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll close down the recording. Just
Sure.
I think it's been long enough. So goodbye world.